Hey everyone, GeForce41 here with another PGA Tour 2K23 design tip video. Today's video we're going to talk about tree lines and making your course really pop with the framing of your shots, specifically on tee shots, and using the trees wisely and appropriately. I see, a lot of the videos I've done, and thank you, by the way, for all your likes and subscribes and your viewership. My design tutorials seem to be my most popular. My um, making greens look natural video just hit over 1,000 views, which for me is a big deal. So thank you all out there. I'll continue to keep these coming the best I can. So I did want to do another design related video here, and the tutorial today is really on making the trees kind of fit into your landscape, right? And no, I didn't. I'm not going to name this "making your tree lines look natural." That would be a little too much. But that's really what I'm going for. As you can tell from my previous videos and my courses, I do go for that natural look and feel. I don't do fantasy courses per se. I want to give these courses like that lived-in look that they've been there from quite some time, and you really think you can go out and play these things. And so I'm going to do this. I'm going to do kind of what I did on those first couple of videos. I'm going to go through some really masterful looking holes by some great designers. This one's mine, so I'm not saying I am a masterful designer, but this is one that came out good for me. This is the ninth hole at Taconic State Park Blue. And this is a par 5 that goes over water with a nice kind of land flow heading down to the left and a nice tree line that I worked fairly hard on. We're going to start here, and then, like I said, we're going to take a look at some other expert designers' holes. I'm not sure who I'm going to get to, so I'm not going to name them here, but you will know them. I think we're going to take a look at one and only Arctic Fury course. I will probably take a look at you know what? I will name them here. One of Ben's courses, B101, because this hole specifically was inspired by some of his work on Old Wickham Heath, and then I'm going to look at a Mayday course, I believe. I think we're going to go to Merced Municipal and just look at his tree work there, which I thought was spectacular. So doing that, show him that they work the look and the framing and the shots will really kind of help guide your thinking. And then we're going to maybe take a look at how to do it. I'm not sure if that's going to be in this video or not. If it's not, I'll do a part 2 and walk you through how I'm working the tree line in my current work in progress, which is a to be disclosed links course. It does have some trees on it. Okay, so let's take a look here at the ninth hole. What I want you to notice about this tree line, and we'll take a quick look up to the fairway and back. You see how it opens up, and there's some trees in the distance. But I'm really talking about the trees lining the sides of the fairway. So let's go back to the tee. What you really want to think about here is framing your shot and guiding the player's sight lines, okay? Right down the middle of that fairway. So you can see how the tree line really focuses in on that fairway from both sides, and the trees are appropriately sized, okay? We'll talk about copy and paste more on another video, but be very careful about your copy and paste. So what I had to do here is go along this tree line, and I'm going to take a club that's a little shorter and go up here and really size these appropriately. Trees come in all different shapes and sizes, but depending on the view you're going for, you can see how they're going kind of down in a line, right? Let's look at from the longer view again. I could draw a line. I'll try to put a graphic in here that's kind of going a little bit diagonally along that line on both sides and in. And you really have to take those trees and spin them and size them accordingly, because each tree is a different size, folks, as you might know. If you just copy and paste them in, they're going to copy on that default size, and they're going to look kind of scrambled and disjointed. So you really do, I hate to tell you this, folks, if you want to make it look good, have to take every tree by tree, and take it, and like I talked on making your planting look natural video that I did a month ago, rotate it and size it correctly so it doesn't look repetitive and computer generated. And that's what I did here. I took each of these trees and went down the line, and kind of sized them up and made it look like they're kind of stepping down in size, right? So down, 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 and you're focusing in a kind of almost a V at that fairway. Okay, so this one came out pretty good, and I worked a lot on the trees on this course in particular. So I remember just how hard I worked on it. It does take time, but if you want your courses to pop, you got to put in the work, folks. Okay, so let's take a shot, and then we'll head off to another course. Pretty good one. All right, welcome to Daisy Village, Denmark, by the one and only Arctic Fury, one of the master designers out there, an absolute genius at what he does. Do I expect your courses to look and feel like this? No, but it's very helpful to look at some of the concepts and techniques he's using. How does he get all the planting in? Oh gosh, I don't know. That's a great question. There were a couple of interviews with him out there, but for the topic of today's discussion, we're talking about the trees and the tree line, and just look at how he frames the shot and has the sight lines guided right down that fairway by the trees, helping as well. So think about what I just pointed out in my opening comments, how the tree line kind of guides you down almost in a diagonal, like a bowling alley, step down, step down, step down, towards, and it really directs your sight lines to the fairway, right? So look on each side. The trees are appropriately sized, and you can move down, 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 down. And on the left side, they're coming nice and close there to kind of help frame the shot. That kind of exclusivity of enclosing the tee shot, a lot of folks like to use. I like to do a little of both. I like the wide open tee shot sometimes, but those close-up tree kind of blocks off the rest of the view and just kind of sets the tone and the ambiance, right? And guides your eyes right down towards where they need to be, which is right down that fairway. So really kind of cool. Use of very narrow trees here that still fill the landscape and direct your sight where it needs to go. Really enhances and frames the shot just beautifully. He's absolutely a master at this. All right, and then you got some butterflies on the left. I don't think I've ever put a butterfly in my designs. And look at that. All right, and here we are at Merced Municipal by Mayday, one of my favorite tree line courses in the game's history. Just a remarkable use of the trees to give that really, really great um, Pacific Coast feel. So if you haven't played this one, give it a whirl. But what you'll notice here is he's got a lot of trees very close to the tee boxes on multiple holes, and then they just line each fairway. So the trees really guide your path through this course, and he's just done a masterful job across the board on each of these holes. This is the first hole. I could take it through almost any hole on this course to really demonstrate how they could add value to your look and feel of your course. But same concepts here. Look how appropriately sized the trees are. They're nice tall trees, obviously. In this neck of the woods, this course is just for you that are not familiar with it, around the San Francisco area, San Francisco Bay Area, beautiful part of the world. So you've got some plush trees all along the side of the course, and along the side of the fairway, and so tall that the tops of them are not even in the picture here, which really adds to the effect of kind of in this canyon-like, feel coming out of the tee box, to the nice kind of level ambiance and tree line down by the end by the green. You've got some trees off to the right that are almost identically sized, but again, kind of pitched towards the green. And then the trees on the left again are going down, 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 pitched towards the green. So almost come into a V just over the green, which is the target, right? So as we're saying, the shot framing is essential here, and the guidance of your eye line and sight line is enhanced by getting those tree sizes and lined up right. And this is a great example of it. Both on the sides of this shot and how it comes into that V behind the green. Awesome, awesome work. Check out this course if you haven't. One of my favorites. All right, let's take a rip at it. Okay, just one more from Merced Municipal. This one is another one where you've got the trees right up close to you, some big tree trunks in your face. Not easy to pull off. I'd make it look all clumsy and sloppy, and that's not the case here. So again, this is an interesting case of making the tree sizes correct and appropriate. In this case, they're large. Sometimes people make them too big. Sometimes they make them too small. In my latest course, I've been running into the problem, made them too small, and now I'm resizing them all. Here, they're pretty darn big. And so you've got that kind of big tree trunk feel right in your face off to the right, which to me is very realistic. Reminds me of courses growing up, although I did not grow up in California. I grew up on the opposite coast. And again, you've got that look of framing the shot right down the alley, coming out of a chute here. The tree line on the left is shaped down towards the fairway. You've got one tree, and again, you don't want it too uniform. You've got one tree sticking out on the left that gives it a realistic feel, and again, that view from behind where it's kind of coming in towards the green, and your eye line is really directed um, at that green, the focal point. It's almost like the eye test when you look at the balloon in the distance before the puffing of air in your eye. I'm very nearsighted, so I go to the eye doctor every year. Anyway, this is a really cool shot again. Um, Merced Municipal by Mayday. So get on out there, have some fun, and let's take a look at another course. Hey everybody, so we are at Matt F's Haywa Dao Club. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Um, First hole, first tee. Matt is another master of the craft. Matt is an artist in his spare time for fun. If you ever listen to his streams, his design tutorials, he actually does paint. So he implores some concepts of art and such into his designs. I'm not an artist, but could certainly use a few lessons, I bet. So another interesting tee shot here. Here you don't have that enclosed look, so to speak. You do have a little bit on the left here, some interesting trees framing the shot on the left, some taller trees on the right with some thinner tree trunks than we've seen. And then it narrows out a little, but again, you see how your eye on the right side is guided down, down, down. It's a 48-foot drop down to this fairway with some beautiful bunkering on the right and sporadic trees on the left, because if you've played this course, you know what's up there. Nice valley, kind of canyon, a river going through the middle of this course. So you see some trees off on the left side, way in the distance there, that frame the shot nicely too. They're a little hard to see from the tee, but you do see them. You do see that tree line off to the left. So that is one of the other reasons I wanted to highlight this course. When you're framing a shot, think of what's in the distance as well as what's on the hole. I think a lot of people focus on what's on the hole ahead of them only, not how the hole behind them looks. So look in the distance and how that tree line is well done and goes down in a fairly consistent manner and a natural looking manner as well. And that guides your shot. Look, it starts at my hat basically. So look at my hat. There's a tree. Look, I'm looking right at it right there. And then that tree line goes from just above the brim of my hat down across that mountain in a diagonal fashion and down towards the hole. So again, that tree line shapes your perspective too. That's hard to pull off and plan all that. Knowing Matt, he probably did it. I try to do that in the end. I try to go back and look at the tee shots from a distance once I've planted the rest of the holes. And then it's got to make sense on the hole you're on. So to make everything come together in one cohesive unit is not easy to pull off. So this, while it looks like a simple, oh, this is a pretty, shot to tee off to, and most people might not give it a second glance. If you give this a real thorough look through here, between the framing and the enclosures on the left and the right, the subtle differences and the opening and that valley off on the left, and then that tree line way off in the distance, this is super well done. Like, just awesome, okay? So this goes to a level thinking I think some people don't go to. And if he wasn't thinking of it, it just happened to come out that way, you gotta be kidding. No way. I know he thinks of these things. He has to. So, really, really, really well done the hole, and quite a beautiful course. Okay, I lied. I'm calling it audible. I did want to go to B101's Old Wickham Heath, but I'm going to take a look at 17 Mile instead. I think this is a collaboration with him and Golf Wolf UK. I featured this on the casuals. This is a beautiful course, obviously set in Monterey, kind of that Pebble Beach area. 17 Mile Drive. Have you ever been there? Absolutely beautiful part of the world. Again, this is showing some of the concepts we talked about in a little different way. This is a little darker. I'm not talking about lighting in this video, but I am talking about the trees. Look off to the right. You've got some seriously big trees and some trunks over there. You've got a bare tree over there, no leaves, kind of gives you a nice, unique look. Some sizable trees off on the left, kind of enclosing that and framing the shot, as well as those trees off on the right. And then it comes out rather focused down into that nice little point down by the fairway. Of course, some beautiful bunkering here framing the shot as well. And you've got that nice tree line right behind the green there. So again, your eyes are directed exactly where they need to go. Your framing is absolutely spectacular, and it's a beautiful opening shot. Although perhaps a little dark. Maybe it was lighter in the previous versions of the game. But it's definitely a low lighting course, which comes in handy later. But nevertheless, an awesome opening vista, to say the least. Okay, let's keep rolling. Okay, here we are in the fourth hole at 17 Mile Club, and look at this beautiful framing. Great work here. Again, some of the same concepts. You've got left and right. You've kind of got the trees close up, shaping the framing that way. That kind of like enclosed feel that you usually get in tree line courses, kind of hitting out of the chute, so to speak. But look at what's down on the fairway. Look right in front of you. You know, those trees are a little bit less dense than some of the courses I've shown you so far, mine included, which is completely apropos of the locale, which is California. And then look at this beautiful job right into this bunker. Those clump of trees, that cluster right there is awesome. It comes down kind of from the right, and then slopes down diagonally and really frames your shot down to that kind of corner that you need to bend around. Of course, I'm waving my hand around the corner like you can see it. And then you've got the nice cluster of trees just off to the right in between the tee box and those four trees that just set things up very, very nicely. But here's the best part about this. This is look at this, 59 feet down the hill. We're going to head down the hill, and then where are we going? Right into this open expanse. Whoops. Look at that. Okay. So the hole's up here, right? And we're heading down around the corner, and it opens up. It's kind of, if you ever played on a course like this where you kind of come out of the trees and then turn the corner and things open up, it's kind of like escaping, so to speak, right into the openness, and it's a cool feeling. There's a few courses around here like that, not many, because most courses around here are just trees all over the place. But really, really cool hole, and just I thought the framing here and the setting was just absolutely beautiful. So let's take a rip at it. A little hiccup there in the frame rate. That was the servers acting up. But there you see, again, so this is going to help you a little bit more. Look at that. So it's opened up. You still have some trees on either side, setting the atmosphere just beautifully. But look at all this. The bunkering is just tremendous here. That's a whole nother video. But look at this. Right up in here's the green. And look how the bunkering as well as the tree work just shapes your viewpoint and your view into this hole. Really, really cool stuff. Can he do it? It's going to be close. Look at this. Hey, not bad. Oh, where you going? There you go. Cool hole, huh? Okay, fifth hole at 17 Mile Club. Look at how different this one is. This is just absolutely stunning. look at how the trees frame this shot, right? Again, off to the right side, you've got the large tree right next to you. You've got that cluster of trees off on the right, trending down, so to speak, towards the fairway. Off to the left, you got the same thing, some tall trees framing the shot on the left, and giving you that enclosed feel off to the left on that side. But then these trees are thinning out, because guess what? You're heading down to the water here, right, in this beautiful view. So you don't expect as many trees down here, right? So you kind of start off in the trees, and you're heading down towards the shore with less trees, and trees that are probably smaller and further apart, right? So I just think this sets up beautifully. You've got some scattered trees off in the distance. You've got a tree right behind the hole here. Basically, look at that. That tree is there right behind the hole for a reason, right? That's the center of the green. And then you've got a couple of trees highlighting things and accenting things over here. So, of course, the bunkering is spectacular, and that helps your um, overall look and feel as well. I mean, not only is it strategically important, certainly with these excellent designers, but look at how it enhances that view and really shapes your viewpoint and guides your eyes to the hole. Just absolutely great work here. Very natural looking, very realistic. Obviously, it's a darker lighting scenario here, but that's all about the ambiance, folks. So awesome, awesome work here. Just great, great picturesque hole. All right, let's take a rip at it. Whoa. Forgot to check out the fairway before I hit it. Great stuff. All right, that's a wrap for this one. Thanks for joining. Hope you got something out of it. Hope it made sense. Hope that makes your visioning and your thoughts when you're designing a hole, and how you use your trees to set up your shots and the scene. Hopes it makes it a little bit easier, makes some more sense. I might do a quick one, a follow-up part 2 to this, where I take you through my whip and walk you through a few steps there. And I think I want to maybe do one on copy and paste. I might throw that in that video or do one separately, because that's going to affect how things look. And I know some folks will use that as a quick way to get some trees out there, etc. But really think about how your trees are adding to your overall scene, how you're framing your shots, and I think they'll have a big impact on the overall look and feel of your course. Okay, all right. Thank you so much for joining. Like and subscribe if you might, and we'll talk soon. Bye for now.